Strapping the cockpit up in this piece. Alright, ready to roll?
Ooh, those white hairs are coming along.
And me? Alright, ready to roll?
Quite a few, actually.
Talking about my white hairs. Alright. You ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. Alright. 3, 2, and 1, and go. Hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. That was fucked up. We're just going to restart that one. You ready?
Yes.
Alright. Alright. You ready? Alright. Here we go. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is, I don't know if I got the date, March the 8th, 2020. Let's go!
You remember the date. Let's give him a prize for that.
Let's get down. Speaking of prizes, let's actually start today's show with the prize giveaway. Let's do it. Let's just get it done. Woo! We're going to start today with the prize giveaway.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, we're not going to do anything super major like we are going to do for the French Open with a tennis racket and so forth. But for Andy and Wells, what we're going to do is on this video, in the comment area, where you can leave comments, select your, or predict your men's finalists, your women's finalists, and both winners. And we will send you either one of these hats, one of these YTEX hats, 2 sets of YTEX strings, a YTEX shirt, or I have a couple of our new 5K tennis shirts coming in. I think they're going to be men's size large when they come in, and we'll send you one of those, or choice of one of those, if you get, or if you predict 3 of the 4 finalists. So if you select John Doe A and B and Mary Jane A and B, and you get 3 of the 4 into the finals, and have one of the 2 finalists actually win, then you will qualify. If there's a tiebreaker, in other words, a couple of you pick the same setup, then we're going to look at time, whoever put the pick in first, and you'll be able to do that when the draw comes out. And the qualies start tomorrow, so the draws won't be out until what, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday probably.
March 12th is when the main draw starts.
Yeah, so you have time to do that. So we'll look at time, and we'll do that. Oh, by the way, here's another choice that you can have. If you were to select 3 out of the 4, or to attain 3 of the 4 finalists and one of the winners, so you can, instead of having, if you don't play tennis or you're careless about a hat or something like that, but you watch the show and you're a fan, then you can come up with any topic of your choice. I don't care if it's cooking, as long as it's not like political or something, really kind of outlandish. But you could have any topic you want. I don't care if it's cooking and or what we do with our kids, or tennis related or not. Then we will research the topic and do our best to answer your question or to do that topic.
Okay.
So that's kind of a cool additive.
Great.
All right. Anyway, that's it. All right. So we're going to start right out with a pre-Andy and Wells kind of discussion. And I wanted to start this topic out with the following, and I'm going to ask this question to Carla and all of you. Could there be an asterisk next to this Andy and Wells and the Miami Open as we go through this kind of end of the early hard court swing? Could there be an asterisk next to it because of what we've all been dealing with internationally, globally, because of this COVID-19 or coronavirus? Could this cause there to be any type of issues with the tournament?
I don't think you could put an asterisk on it. It's not like anybody did anything bad. That's the only reason you would put an asterisk on something. That's the toughest survive, just like in life.
Well, I mean asterisk in terms of, is everyone going to travel? Is everyone going to be in the gym, putting in the pre-match work? Or are people going to be kind of like, oh, let's keep our distance here. Let's kind of keep our communication to a minimum. Let's maybe not get on the airplane because of the closed quarters. Let's maybe not get on the train or the bus, and let's maybe hold off on transportation. What I'm getting at is could there be an asterisk next to this tournament and being maybe not as intense as it usually is because of...
You can't put the asterisk still. No. I mean, what about back in the days when professional or players that play slams couldn't play because they had to serve in a certain war, and only certain players were left back to play that tournament.
Well, your metaphor, I think, is off. You say a certain war. Generally, that's some politically driven thing between one group of people and another.
No, do you remember?
I think the
You get what I'm saying?
I think the virus is communicatable regardless of where you're from.
No, I know.
And what
I'm not
the
saying
political
that.
environment
Okay, but you can't put an asterisk because in the men's side we have almost everybody except Roger Federer, who was hurt before anything happened.
I've had some people say insofar
and
as
Fognini doesn't matter anyways.
I have had, and I think it's a little outlandish, but maybe not. But I have had people say that Roger Federer's injury is coincidentally at about the same point in time where this virus began to spread,
Well,
and maybe it's in his best interest to stay put and proclaim injury.
Well, Wyndham Chia said Switzerland is about to get bad.
Okay,
Roger Federer better watch out.
So let's talk about this a little bit. First and foremost, for the Indian Wells tournament, this tournament, in my opinion, is important for a lot of athletes, namely, in my opinion, Serena Williams.
Yes.
You have Andreescu that's out, injury possibly, but I think again there is a lot of international, I guess you could say, scare in a way about this travel thing and being exposed to international people traveling from here and there and not too quite sure of where or who they've been in contact with. Let's look at some other people that are out of the tournament. We know Andreescu is. We know Halep is out with the foot injury. We know Kerber is out and her kind of transgression back into the game from an injury in the first place. With the leg injury, the lucky loser that replaced her is Taylor Townsend, by the way. Roger Federer is out. We've known that. Victoria, the screech, grunt, squeal off, individual women's screecher extraordinaire has pulled out. Reason unclear. Maybe something personal, maybe not. But we know she's had a struggle in her personal life with the child and other stuff.
She should just stop playing tennis. It seems like her struggle has just kept going and going.
Yeah, Fabio Fognini, the beautiful beard himself, the wonderful, graceful, walking Italian himself, is having a tough time getting into the States because where he is, I guess currently, I think he's playing like the Davis Cup qualifier or something like that. But he's having a tough time visaing into the U.S. because of the Italian outbreak. And from what I read, I think like 14 million Italians were quarantined today in like the northern part of Italy because of the outbreak.
Wow.
Also, I wanted to mention a segment so it doesn't sound like fear-mongering, and I think that a lot of this is fear-mongering. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. And I'm going to give a quick shout-out to my dad, my father out there, 82 years young, still plays tennis, still coaches to this very day. But he's a retired physician, retired family practice doctor, and that's why I mentioned this. As we were talking about this the other day, about this coronavirus spread, and he made a good point. His point was there's nothing new underneath the sun, and it's odd to him that there's so many things on the planet that kill more people per capita every single day: obesity, excess alcohol, cigarettes, tobacco, heart disease, obesity-related issues, and so forth.
Sexually transmitted diseases.
STDs, you name it globally, but no one goes into panic over it. His take on it was, the common cold kills equally as many people, if not more, per capita a year. So his take on it, who's profiting off of this? What are people scurrying to buy? What are they going to do? And, like you said earlier, survival of the fittest. In a way, you don't want to risk a tennis tournament for a global spread of a disease.
But it's being overblown.
It seems a little. You have to think about things that way. Some things are politically driven. I'm not getting into that. That's not what we do here. But he had a good take on it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it does seem to me that there are things that maybe do more damage to people every day, and we don't scurry and run around to get people to quit smoking.
That's exactly. You light up a cigarette. Every time you light up that cigarette, you're taking a huge chance, but you don't see anybody worry about that.
Exactly. Go figure. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't know. I'm too dumb.
You put that French fry in your mouth.
Yeah. It's kind of an odd thing. You walk into a McDonald's or a Burger King, which I don't think we've ever done. We've been through the drive-thru in a hurry.
Yeah, we have. And let me tell you something. We went to eat buffet the other day. I have to say, I almost puked. I couldn't eat. I can't do it anymore.
Well, I think what she's alluding to is that sometimes we'll go to buffets and we'll eat sensibly at a buffet, but sometimes someone sitting next to you and their plate is like up here like this, and then they're going back a third and a fourth time. And anyway, I understand that, and I'm there's nothing to.
And you're killing yourself because you're not supposed to consume that many calories unless you're a prime athlete that's burning thousands of calories.
Yeah, and look, not pointing the fingers neither here nor there. I mean, if that's your cup of tea, then we all have our cup of teas and vices, believe me. But nonetheless, the moral of the story is there's things that can kill you much more rapidly or at much more of a higher percentage of rate of fatality. In other words, if you smoke cigarettes, most likely you're going to die. Like almost 100% chance over a long period. You're going to die, and every other tissue in your body will. However, you have this 3% chance of dying here, and the whole world's standing still. And I understand that. It's important. Now, what are some of the things that the tournament in Indian Wells is asking the women's players and the men's players to do? Not to exchange towels with the ball boys and ball girls. First and foremost, Carla, your opinions on this and all of your opinions on this. I have always thought that was a little odd. I haven't played and say maybe.
I don't want anybody grabbing my sweaty towel.
Yeah, I haven't played though. What I was alluding to is the multitude of matches I've played with ball boys and ball girls. I've never had one exchange the towel. It's just been the balls. I've always had my own towel, and so has my opponent. Now, I guess maybe it changes when you get into the pro level. I never played outside of college. She did. I mean, you obviously had ball people and challengers, etc. Did you ever have them with your towel?
No, not the towel.
I said maybe it's just at the elite levels, and I'm wrong there. Her is.
No, they don't have. No, they don't even have that. No.
Yeah, so we had ball peoples, but never towels. So I don't understand that one anyway. I wouldn't want to grab Nadal's butt-picking, sweaty, nasty, smell like butt cheese towel. I mean, he picks his ass.
What about they blow their nose on that towel?
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta grab it.
Yeah, and look, here's a couple of players that I would not want to grab their towel. Rafael Nadal, after he kicks his butt 337 times a match as tennisser, this guy 1,000 came up with the stats, and I forgot which one. But nonetheless, if he dug in his booty half the match, and he's like, here, take this. You got stinky face and stinky hands if you're the ball person. And then the tennis balls smell like crap because they've been on the hand.
How do you know his ass smells like crap?
If you're a sweaty dude with a sack, you're it's smelling like ass down there. It's getting funky down yonder. It is spunky to Trump down there. Spunky. You don't want to go near that funkified towel. I don't want it. Good for the ball people. This is good news. You don't have to grab Nadal ask from the ball. Or you know what? They ought to tell Nadal. They ought to tell Nadal to between every point to put hand sanitizer on his hands after he digs in his booty and still apply it to the shot clock. So think about this. If he had to go get a ball, okay, ball, digs in his ass once, twice, hold that thought, time out, hand sanitizer before you grab the ball again, wash the hands off, give him the balls back. I think he'd have a shot clock violation, and he doesn't infect the strings in the hands of everyone else. They say the coronavirus.
But it's on his short. His shorts, underwears are there. I mean, he's not touching his booty.
They say the coronavirus affects, per one person that gets it, 2.2 other people. Think about this. Nadal's ass funk infects not only his own self, but every ball person and person that has to make contact with the ball on the court. So his statistics are worse. Save us the ass cheese and keep your own towel, Nadal. Keep it. All right, next thing, by the way, they're having them do is not to throw their towels into the crowd after the match. So if they win a match, it's like, here's my souvenir, take my sweaty armband, lap it in your face.
They're not allowed to throw it anymore to the crowd?
Yeah, they can't lap their sweaty towel into the crowd.
Aw, shucks.
Do you remember the U.S. Open? No, was it the U.S. Open last year? Like this little kid's like reaching out for his towel from like Nadal. And Nadal's like just sopped in sweat. He's like, here, have my towel. Have my towel. Little kid's like, yes, I want your towel.
Hey, my best friend grabbed Stephen Eber's sweaty towel and she was so happy. She never washed it.
But what I'm saying is this kid was grabbing Nadal's towel. And then here comes this like heirloom collector that swoops into the frame, snatches the towel out of the hand. And then Nadal finds it, is like, okay, he gives him another towel. But I mean, I wouldn't want the ass cheese on my hand. I'm sorry. Nadal can keep his towel. Just saying. All right, here's a couple of questions about this Indian Wells. Who do you think, Carla, that this tournament is incredibly important for?
In the women's side, definitely Serena.
Why?
Because Serena's been trying to prove herself. This is the time for her to take advantage and even try to win Indian Wells, give herself a little bit of confidence to go into a slam confident. You've got Andreescu, who's out with injury. I'm sure she's out with injury. Halep, who probably didn't play because she didn't want to get sick, is what I think, really.
Well, look, also, too, I agree with some of that, and someone may call it conspiratory, but that's okay. However, Halep, if you've seen Halep play one time, then you've seen her play every match that she's ever played. She's
like Murray.
She's a grinder. She's a Murray.
She's a Murray.
Yeah.
That's why I've never really liked her.
So when she gets hurt, it's not ever really a shock because that's her game.
Yeah. So we got Kerber. I mean, it's not like Kerber's playing the best tennis ever, but she was a defending champion, right? You've got Ashley Barty, who's inconsistent right now. We don't know what's going on with her.
By the way, speaking of Ashley Barty, big shout out to Team Australia in cricket that just won, I think, their 5th cricket World Cup. That's a big deal.
Awesome.
Much love to that. But anyway, back to Barty.
Pliskova, who, I mean, we know, I don't think she'll ever win anything huge. Kvitova, who can win or lose. Slavina, who can lose to Serena. She doesn't have the firepower. Kenin, who has a great chance of winning. So Kenin would be her...
Kenin
would be her only challenge, I really think.
And Kenin won Lyon today, which she should have.
She should have won that.
She won a major. Look at her competition there.
Osaka's in what? I mean,
Osaka who?
Osaka who, exactly.
Who is Osaka?
Exactly, Osaka who? Benchik's hasn't had a good year, and Bertens, she could lose to Serena. So Serena, this could be her tournament. She needs to take advantage and win this tournament. And take advantage that there's a lot of injured players so she can win a slam.
Her coach, Patrick Mortagalou, I would say said it perfectly, even in an article that I read just the other day. Her fitness... And look, I know...
You said her fitness? I didn't read that.
Yeah, maybe we didn't go over this. We went over some of it. But there was an article I read the other day, and this was relatively recent. And I know, yes, Mortagalou is always in the camera. Like, there can be some new player from XYZ you've never heard of, but they are having a great career, and all of a sudden, Mortagalou, hey, what's up? You know, some new player will be up. Oh, look at this girl. She just won a match. Hey, yes, you, Mortagalou, my name. But nonetheless, he said it perfectly. That Serena's fitness is still still not 100%.
I think B-Dog sent... No, it wasn't B-Dog. Michael Walker sent me a text message with how Serena used to look and asked me, do you think she'll ever get back to that shape? And I say, no way.
Well, here's the thing. Why this makes this tournament so important for Serena Williams is that her fitness has been not 100%, which has not let her beat players like Osaka, like Andreescu, like Halep. Well, I think she's pretty much handled Halep, though. I didn't think about that one. I might have shot from the hip on Halep.
Well, she lost to Halep at Wimbledon.
However, yeah, you're right. So, however, with all of them out, I think a 95% or a 90% Serena should be able to win it. Correct?
I agree, yeah.
All I'm saying. Now, with this coronavirus thing, I know with the importance of winning majors, especially for Novak Djokovic, especially for Rafael Nadal, and those conspiracy theorists out there that assumed when the coronavirus began breaking out afar, at least from us, much earlier in December, January, I think, a while ago, Federer's injury came up. One of the viewers, or multiple out there, said, it's kind of strange that Federer wants to chill and hold this injury down with this deal. So what I'm saying is, how important is this tournament with the likes of the major big two right now on the planet, in my opinion, of Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal? Are they worried about being congested on an airplane, even though they have their private ones? I get that. But how important is this tournament for someone like Rafael Nadal or Novak Djokovic? What are they willing to risk? We know that they're not going to die from this coronavirus thing, but they're going to get sick, and they're going to have to deal with the flu, and they're going to have to deal with the cold. Do they want to even risk that as we approach Roland Garros?
I mean, I don't
That's
think
my whole thing. Is there an asterisk here?
I don't think they care about winning it, but, I mean, if they do, great. But, again, there's risk in everything in life. And when you get on a plane, you can get into an accident. When you get in a car, you can get into an accident. I mean, there can be many things. So, no. But
an accident is avoidable, but when something is so communicable...
No, accidents are not avoidable. They just happen.
Yeah, but it's a lightning strike chance if you're staying...
They could be running on the tennis court and break an ankle. I mean, come on.
Okay, I did that, yes.
Anything can happen in life. We can't be that oh my gosh, I
Don't
want to
you-
get sick. Oh my, please, I don't want to touch this.
There's
You can't live life
there's a
like
name
that.
for that. It's called a hypochondriac.
You can't live life like that.
Now, is this tournament hugely important for the likes of Zverev and Tsitsipas?
Yes.
And TM. Well, TM, I think, has earned himself a right to.
Didn't he win Indian Wells? He's trying to defend 1,000 points.
And I think his mom got a tattoo because of it. His mom gets tattoos for big tournaments.
It's important because he's trying to defend 1,000 points. That hurts if he doesn't defend that. And Andreescu, by the way, going back to her, she drops out of the top 10 because she can't defend 1,000 points.
She's still 19 and is young enough for her body to bounce back. Now, whether this is, hey, I'm staying put, I just got healthy because of my ongoing injuries or issues in all different parts of my body. The last thing I want to do now is get the flu. Right. I understand that. So that's all objective, I guess you could say, and not factual. So I'm going to ask everybody a couple questions about this tournament right now. You ready to go? Carla, here we go, and all of you. Here we go. Number one to you and all of you, if you're a fan, no worries. This question applies to you as well, because going to an event such as this is equally as like playing in it, because you're spending resources, right? Mm-hmm. Question number one, Carla, as a fan or a player, would you travel to Indian Wells and play in it?
I would.
I would too. Again, if you're healthy, I think all is well. But nonetheless, like LeBron James said the other night, the NBA was talking about we're not going to play any more games if it gets much worse with the outbreak. But the players will go to the arena, and we won't let any fans in. We'll play the games, but with no fans. I would travel definitely. If I was a fan, though, it would be a little from afar. It would be a little bit more worrisome for me.
Well, I wouldn't even travel, even if that didn't exist. I prefer watching it on TV, just saying.
Yeah. Anyway, so you would travel. I mean, as a player or fan,
of course, I would travel as a player.
I would too. But I think there's a question mark of getting on an airplane or a ship or something. Anyway, number two, do you think there will be any type of asterisk after this tournament said and done about the validity of the winner based upon the aforementioned stuff?
The men's are strong, except one guy missing.
Question number three, crowd turnout. Is the crowd turnout affected?
I think that they'll lower the tickets so low that they'll fill it up somehow.
Question number four, should Miami and Indian Wells be postponed?
Miami, I know, is having around Florida, they're having a lot of issues. And I don't see that tournament, to me, that tournament has been lesser than the Indian Wells without this. So I don't know, I might think about that one.
Okay, an odd question, not an odd question, but a very potentially real question. If our 5 kids were at school and it happened, and this being a hypothetical scenario, would you send your kids back to school?
No, it's different, no.
How is it different when 40,000 people are sitting in the stands?
Well, our school is just 100 kids, so if one's got it, they're all going to get it.
Question number 7.
No, that made no sense today. That made no sense, sorry. I wouldn't send them because they're my kids. But again, if I'm a fan, I'm not going to go fly over there to watch this tournament.
Next question. Is there a lot going on underneath the table about this whole thing? Is it being distorted to sway international thoughts and so forth? Is there a little bit more than meets the eye with this thing?
Probably.
Maybe so, maybe not. Anyway, if you were Rafael Nadal or Novak Djokovic or any other player that could afford financially, I'm not talking if you're Borna Coric just trying to finally do something. I'm talking about if you are a player that can afford to skip this one, and not many people can do that outside maybe the top 5 in the world right now, or 8 maybe, something like that. If you could afford to skip it, would you?
If you could afford to skip it? Yeah, I would skip it.
So does that mean you need to have an asterisk?
No, but they're not going to skip it.
So if you can afford to skip it, no.
But I mean, do they really need to use up their body even if it wasn't an asterisk on the side? I mean, Nadal and Djokovic have nothing to prove here.
Next question.
If it's a slam, no, don't skip it.
Next question. Your overall excitement level about the upcoming Indian Wells tournament. Not Miami yet because that's still...
I have a 10 because I'm interested to see how these players are going to work the whole thing with the gloves. I'm interested to see all of this.
Yeah, I'm
So for me, it's a 10.
I'm going to give it maybe a 6.8736. I'm not terribly excited about it.
Plus, not only that, I want to see the excuses that Novak fans are going to make.
I give it a 10 because I'm excited about it because I love doing this with all of you. And I'm excited to see your predictions for the prize giveaways. I get excited about competition.
I just want to see what happens with Novak. Can he be undefeated like you guys said?
I just hope Novak Djokovic doesn't get sick. And that affects his Wimbledon run. I mean, Wimbledon and French Open run.
Well, we'll hear the excuses. That's for sure.
All right. So real quickly, there was 11 Americans that got wild cards into this tournament. I'm gonna roll them off real quick. Tennis Sandgren, Jack Sock,
Okay, we knew that.
Brandon Nakashima.
Isn't he a young player?
Yeah, I think he's a young up-and-coming guy. Good luck to him. Marcus Giron.
Yeah, I've heard his
Been
name.
around.
Yeah.
Mitchell Kruger.
Okay, he's young.
Catherine McNally, good luck.
Yeah, she's young. She needs it. Good wild card.
Christy Ahn, a strong girl, by the way.
She deserves it. She's been on the tour for a while.
Christina McHale.
Yep.
Shelby Rogers.
Yep, they've been on tour for a while.
Madison Brangle. Was that a hiccup?
Yes, that was a hiccup.
Hiccup. It's a stick up, big up. And I'm shooting puppets quick. If they hiccup, don't make me put my clip up.
Enough.
All right, the next one would be, this one I have not heard of. Drum roll.
I gotta look that up.
Yasu Arconada.
Sounds Spanish.
Arconada. Good luck to her.
Arconada?
Don't forget that Kim Kleisters attained a wild card into the main draw right off the bat. Let's go. I have a feeling she's going to have a rough go of it, but I do wish her well. Big fan. Let's roll. Come on. Woo!
Someone said not to be tough on her, so I would. She's 21 years old. She's from Argentina. I wonder why they gave it to her.
I don't know. What she got? Maybe she's flying.
But she's got an American flag, but it says here born in Argentina.
Don't cry for me.
So we're gonna go with the flag thing.
What's that song? Don't cry for me, Argentina.
So we're gonna go with the flag thing again.
Wasn't that a song? Don't cry for me, Argentina.
She was born. No, she resides in Puerto Rico, but born in
Puerto Rico's a U.S. territory.
Born in Argentina, Buenos Aires.
De donde eres? De donde eres? De donde eres?
You're being annoying today.
Smack, crackle, and pop you in the eye. Let's go. How I roll. All right. For my biggest wild card lookout is this one. Carlos Alvarez Garcia, not Garcia, Garcia. Carlos Alvarez Garcia, 16-year-old kid from Spain, was given a wild card into the qualies. This kid I like a lot. I think he's going to be great. So I'm going to be watching the young Carlos Alcaraz or Alvarez.
You are just butchering the Spanish
language.
Let's
go.
You're butchering the Spanish language.
Shoot. Most people don't have enough skills to even attempt it. I don't have stage fright. That's how I get down. Shoot it out there. Let it roll. Let it ride. Let's go. Shoot. Only live once. Shh. Taking advantage.
As you can tell, you know who talks a lot in the family, who doesn't.
All right. Second topic. We have to give credit where credit is due. Credit where credit is due. Here we go. This topic is about giving shout-outs to the Indian Fed Cup team. Mm-hmm. Got to give credit where credit is due. The Indian Fed Cup team has made it to the first women's Fed Cup playoff ever.
Good for them.
Ever. Now, this is a big-time thing, okay? By the way, the reason why this occurred is they beat Indonesia 2-1 in Dubai.
And the only loss was by a 16-year-old from Indonesia that beat one of the opponents from India. So good for that 16-year-old.
Great.
To me, that was more impressive.
No, I'm going to give shout-outs to the Indian team.
That's impressive, but that was more impressive to me that the 16-year-old beat an older opponent. 16 years old.
Isn't there an 11-year-old Syrian girl, 11-year-old Syrian girl by the name of I got her here. A Syrian girl, 11 years old. That's a 1-1. That's 11 das 12, 11 diez 11. That's 11. Let's go with the Espanol. An 11-year-old Syrian girl qualifies for the ping pong or table tennis competition in the Olympics in 2020 in Tokyo. That is, if it doesn't get postponed. And her name is Hend Zaza. And I'm gonna spell this out because she deserves props. Hend, H-E-N-D, and Zaza, Z-A-Z-A. Now, number one, it's a feat for her being 11 years old.
Absolutely.
And look, first and foremost, before I even give her the most props that she needs, when you're playing table tennis at a high level,
that's fast.
It's a workout. Boom, 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 bow, bow, bow. There's a video of my dad and I playing table tennis not terribly long ago. And
Except it's slow motion.
Yeah, and we're just old. He's 82, and we still were like boom, 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 boom. But these people rock and just get down. This girl, though, is Syrian. And what makes this so awesome to me, and I would love to know the whole story, but Syria has been a war-torn country in the middle of just strife for a lot of years, and millions of people displaced because of it. I won't get into it. I'm too stupid of a person to know anything about such. But nonetheless, there's strife and anguish and grief there. And here you have this 11-year-old girl that qualifies for the table tennis Olympics, where the beasts from like Taiwan and Japan and China, respectively, South Korea, they rolled the dice up in here, and she qualified?
Good for her. 11 years old. She's serious about her future.
Let's go! Let's go, Henzaza. I'm on your squad. Let's go, Team 5K. Hope she dominates. I have a feeling there's a lot of people there that are gonna be willing to battle and show her who's boss. But nonetheless, I hope she puts up a good fight. All right, but anyway, back to the Indian Fed Cup team. In all due respect, this young lady Ankita Raina led the Indian squad to a 2-1 victory. And thus giving them their first playoff berth ever. I think after this, they have to travel to play either the Netherlands or Latvia. That will be a tough go. But nonetheless, here is the current Indian Fed Cup team. Ankita Raina jumps to number 160 in the world, which is very respectable, by the way, for anyone on the planet.
Absolutely.
Number 2, a young lady I've never heard of, Ratuja of Bosal.
She's the one that lost to a 16-year-old thing.
Well, good for both ladies to be here. She's number 344 in the world and has 2 ITF titles, by the way.
But for her, that means she's a good player.
Number 3, though, on the team, and there's more. There's others, reserves and fill-ins and so forth. But number 3 is, in my opinion, a Hall of Famer. And should be a Hall of Famer at some point. And that's Sania Mirza. Mirza is 33 years old. Was at one point...
A mom.
A mom.
I gotta say that because it's Serena.
Watch out, Serena. Watch out, Serena.
She's a mom.
Let's go, Serena. Ask Mirza about how to get it done.
She's a mom.
Mirza was number 27 in the world, by the way, in singles at one point.
Yeah, I remember when they were expecting her to do a lot of stuff. She
made the 3rd and 4th round, I think, of multiple majors. I think she had the toughest time at the French, if I remember correctly. But nonetheless, she made some 3rd and 4th rounds of all the majors in singles. And I think the 4th round in some. She won 3 out of the 4 majors as a doubles player. She won three of the 4 majors with Martina Hingis, as we know, Hall of Famer. Well, is she already in Hingis because of the?
Yeah, she's been in.
Okay, so she won 3 out of 4 majors playing doubles with Hingis. 1 French Open final, didn't win it with Vesnina. We remember Vesnina, right? Mm-hmm. She also won 3 of the 4 majors in mixed doubles with Bhupati. If you don't know who Bhupati is, but Bhupati and Paez were 2 Indian doubles maestros that could rival the Bryan brothers. No kidding, in my opinion. They won 3 of the 4 majors in mixed doubles. However, Mirza won the U.S. Open with Bruno Soares, a Brazilian player, at the 2014 U.S. Open, and that's relatively recent. So don't forget about the integrity of the Indian teams. A couple of the players right offhand from the Indian denomination, I guess you could say, male and female, that we should all remember and cherish. Leander Paez, doubles maestro, still playing, Hall of Famer. Don't forget about Bhupati, Mahesh Bhupati, the person I just mentioned. In my opinion, he should be in the Hall of Fame with Paez as a doubles team.
They probably will be, because they do have a lot of doubles players.
Yeah, Sania Mirza, who we just talked about, she should be in the Hall of Fame. Don't forget about some of the players now. Yuki Bambri, Rohan Bopana. Bopana, in my opinion, was another phenomenal Indian doubles player, won 1 major. Samdev Devarman, I think his first name was Samdev. Ramkumar Ramanathan, kind of it was like Jonathan, but Ramanathan or something. Pranesh Gunaswaran, Sumit Nagal. Don't forget about Nagal. Nagal's been kind of popping on the scene lately too at the challenger level
these
too.
Are some, I love the names. Very interesting names.
Ankita Raina, we mentioned her on the Davis Cup team. Ratuja Bosal, the same lady we just mentioned on the Davis Cup team. And there's a lot of arbitrages. Don't forget about Vijay Armitage. Vijay Armitage, in my opinion, is a legend, is a classic. I was raised watching some of his game. Classic one-handed backhand. Don't forget about his son, Prakash Armitage, who is the really swole-up bicep dude on the tennis channel that everybody loves. Everybody loves that guy. By the way,
if you guys get a chance, Rahesh sent me some indie music, and there was one music video. I kept watching it. Great music, even if you don't understand the language.
I wish I had
and food.
I wish I had Prakash Armitage's biceps. He's swole. Let's go.
It looks like his shirt is extra small.
Let's get down. Everybody loves that guy.
Shirts are too tight on him.
let me ask you a question in parting, and we'll call this show a done deal. With the names of 4 just mentioned, would you say, Carla, and all of you, that right now, India's tennis, men's side, do you think that the country of India's men's tennis has a stronger up-and-coming field than the U.S. men's tennis?
No.
I think it's arguable.
It's no, because you have still guys.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
The only reason I say no is because we don't really know them very well yet.
I'm going to ask you a question and we're going to end the show.
No, because you have...
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Here, one question.
I'll give you my reason why.
Sorry, go ahead.
Opelka. Everybody knows Opelka, right? Sam Querrey, we've heard of him. John Isner, we've heard of him. Even Jack Sock, we've heard of him. How many guys I'm missing? Taylor Fritz, they're all in the top.
Okay, let me ask you one question. This is it.
Sure.
Have you have had a chance, I know, to see that young man Nagal play?
Yes. I like the way he plays.
He's a fighter, right?
Definitely a fighter.
Can you honestly and positively tell me that the young man Nagal, on any given day, could not beat any of the players that you just mentioned?
Definitely could be.
I rest my case.
Definitely.
That's it, everyone. Much love to all of you. Let's go. By the way, on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and you can come back in here to this one. On Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, as daylight savings time changes, it's our busiest time. So I know we didn't do a show Friday, Saturday until late today. It's because I'm back on my feet pretty much to coach.
And lessons restart for us. This is when we are busy now.
So on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, generally, we're packed from the morning to the evenings until we're done with coaching the court, stringing rackets, and doing the 5 kids and everything else. Sorry. Anyway, I mean, don't shoot me, man. We can't always deliver the best product. Let's go. Trying hard. Let's get down. But yeah, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, sometimes if we're amiss, don't shoot us in a way. But this, and it's really good for us because when it slows down in the winter, if we don't put in so much work in the summer, it's really tough for us to get through our
we have to put in the work. But we will put in the work here as well.
Much love to everyone. Take care. See you later. Indian Wells prize giveaway. Predict 3 of the 4, or predict your men's finalists, women's finalists. As long as you get 3 of the 4 finalists that make it to the final and 1 of the 2 winners. First one that gets it, string, shirt, or your topic. Take care. Peace out. See ya. Let's go.